So Elon Musk has been on an absolute tear lately on social media, and he's been on a tear about artificial intelligence and how that pertains not only to Tesla, not only to xAI, but kind of how that spills out and over into the world itself. I made a video last week talking about so I do AI news videos once in a while. I make archaeology news videos once in a while. I do pop culture videos once in a while, things like that. So consider subscribing if those are things that you might be interested in. But I made a video where I talked about how the one thing that we can really look at Elon Musk as in this race, and Grock has never worked all that well for me. There are people who swear by it. There are people who swear that it is the number one AI. I am not a prompt engineer, so perhaps it is a user error in that way. Grok pictures have not really worked well for me. Getting image generation through that AI, but the one thing that we can count on Elon Musk to do, whether he wins this race with xAI or not, is kind of the same thing that he talked about a long, long time ago when he started both Tesla and SpaceX, was that he thought there was like an 80% chance that both businesses would fail. But if he made a decent enough run at things, he could probably accelerate the advent of the profitable electric car and going to Mars by X number of years, right? He thought that he could do that, and that would have been a worthy and valiant goal. I'm not going to say that I think what happened to Elon Musk along the way was he realized, oh, no, I can win these things and I can make money in the process. But I think that same spirit is the spirit with which he has been attacking the AI revolution. And we have this SMX on Twitter/X saying wartime CEO engaged, and then quoting Elon Musk saying 7 days a week sleeping in the factory. No one should put these many hours into work. This is not good. This is very painful. It hurts my brain and my heart. That is an old interview from Elon Musk where he was trying to make sure in 2018, I believe, that Tesla did not go bankrupt. So he was sleeping in the factory on the at time. So from the story as I understand it, he had moved his desk onto the actual operating floor, and he was sleeping under his desk on the operating floor. That is the story as I understand it. But we have Elon Musk retweeting that the very same day that it was tweeted out, by the way, and saying back to working 7 days a week and sleeping in the office if my little kids are away. That is what we are seeing from Elon Musk right now. Elon Musk is 110% into whatever it is that he has going on right now. And as a Tesla investor, I have to tell you that I follow these stories pretty closely. And right now, I don't know what Elon's working on. I really don't. I believe that it's Optimus. But one day he's talking about Optimus. The next day he's talking about AI chips. The next day he's talking about xAI. Then he's talking about bringing up power plants. He's talking about the need to build solar power plants in the United States. He's talking about all of these things, and I can't keep up with it. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where the business is at, and I'm afraid my investment's going to fail. But here's the thing I wanted to talk about predominantly with this set of X posts or tweets, or whatever you want to call them. OpenAI was founded December 11th in 2015, so almost a decade ago. There's a phrase that has become ubiquitous in the AI revolution, the Chat GPT moment. It is a reflection of the iPhone moment when Steve Jobs came out and said, we have a new camera, a new iPod, and a new phone. The thing is, they're all the same thing, right? That was a revolutionary moment because now we all have these things in our pockets and they do so much stuff that they did not used to do, and people can't live without them now. The ubiquity of iPhones, the ubiquity of smartphones has completely changed the world. There is nary a moment that happens in the world out of the norm that is not recorded. That's a double negative. I shouldn't say it that way. Every out of the norm moment is recorded in this world. And we have the iPhone moment to thank for that. How many new moments will be generated because of the Chat GPT moment? But here's the real reason I wanted to bring up that Chat GPT moment. That is generally, and this is an answer from Chat GPT, so you can be sure that it's right, generally refers to November 30th, 2022, the date OpenAI publicly released Chat GPT for free to the public. That is essentially 7 years. It's 12 days away from being 7 years to the day, right? But that is 12 years, or 7 years, pardon me. I don't know why I said 12. 7 years from when OpenAI was founded to what is known as the Chat GPT moment. Elon Musk founded xAI July 12th, 2023. Elon Musk founded xAI half a year after the Chat GPT moment. Not after Chat GPT, not after OpenAI, after the Chat GPT moment. And he has already poured enough gasoline on that thing to be neck and neck and to be, in fact, with Grock 4, Grock 5, I can't remember what number they're on, to be testing better than any other AI. So what we are seeing in this way is madness. Elon Musk tweets out, working out the bugs on Grock video. This is a video. I couldn't get it to pause very well, but what he is working on here is a golden, I don't know, it looks like a dove maybe, or a bird, some type of golden bird. It's like a steampunk aesthetic doctor working on a steampunk aesthetic bird and setting the bird to, it's a wild video. You've got to see it. But here's what I wanted to comment on here. I know that prompting is half magic and half science because I can't ever get it right. But this video looks incredible. The physics, the way he's moving, the light physics, all of it is absolutely flawless. xAI right now is on a boss run through all of the checkboxes that all of these artificial intelligences have to offer. They do pictures now, they do answers now, they do voice now, they do videos they're coming out with. So this is a matter of time before before Grock is just has all of the products that you could want. And they were founded July 12th, 2023. It is currently July 29th, 2025. They've been around 2 years and 2 weeks. Then we have this news. Samsung's giant new Texas fab will be dedicated to making Tesla's next generation AI6 chip. The strategic importance of this is hard to overstate. Samsung currently makes AI4. TSMC will make AI5, which just finished design initially in Taiwan and then Arizona. It's easy to misread that tweet, to not completely thoroughly get that tweet. What this tweet is saying, Samsung currently makes AI4 chips. Those are the chips that Tesla is using. TSMC will, as in future tense, make the AI5 chips. They have not begun producing AI5 chips. Not only has Tesla signed Samsung to make the AI6 chip, they are building an entire fab in Texas to supply them. Now, I'm going to get into in a moment what I think the ramifications of this are, what this actually means. But Elon Musk follows up. Samsung agreed to allow Tesla to assist in maximizing manufacturing efficiency, basically saying, guys, we don't really trust you. So do your work and we're going to proofread. And if we don't like it, we're going to take the pen to paper and make the changes. This is a critical point, as I will walk the line personally to accelerate the pace of progress. And the fab is conveniently located not far from my house. This is Elon Musk saying, and boys, tie your shoes, because I'm coming to see you, right? Musk also said in reply to another tweet, this is only the beginning of things, not the end. That the scale of this is only the smallest that it will ever be. It will only get bigger from here. Samsung is building an entire fab for Tesla, an entire factory for Tesla. Tesla and Samsung have agreed to a 16.5 billion multi-year supply agreement that extends from mid-2025, we are in mid-2025, through the end of 2033. So I asked Chat GPT to say, hey, what are we looking at here? And Chat GPT estimates the likely range is 1.7 to 2.6 million chips per year, or 14 to 20 million chips over the course of the contract from this building. Remember, Tesla has the other contracts. They have a contract right now with TSMC. They are still in a contract with Samsung from the first time for AI4. This is not the contract for the chips that they are using. This is a contract for the chips they will be using after the next generation. This is not for cars. They have the chips for their cars. This is for Optimus. This is for Robotaxi. This is for, there's been rumors of drones that Tesla might start getting into the drone business because of something else that Elon Musk tweeted out. And Elon Musk has talked about how if you cannot make drones and there is a world war, you will be a vassal state. So he understands the importance of drone technology, etc. And just incredible stuff here that we don't even know for what these chips will be. And I don't believe it's just cars. But again, not the current generation, not the next generation, the generation after that. That is for what Tesla just signed a $16.5 billion deal. Remember earlier I was talking about the product lines. Well, I think Grock is launching one here. Perhaps I'm mistaken. I am not completely up to date on all of the AIs right now and everything that they can do. But we get this from Tetsuo. Using Grock 4 voice plus video to identify plants on my hike. Elon Musk chimes in, you can just point your camera at anything and Grock will tell you what it is. It could even read the writing on my doctor's prescription note. Now, far be it from me to conjecture what that prescription was for. But I think that this is the only AI right now that has this ability. Maybe I'm wrong. It has been rumored a couple of different times for Chat GPT. I've heard that it was rumored for the Google AI. But I don't think either of them have this platform right now, and Grock does. Grock is reading handwriting. Grock is identifying plants in the wild, not by feeding images, by taking images. So, I mean, what we are seeing here is the accelerant that Elon Musk has proven to be, whether it is for good or bad. Probably it is for good and bad that AI is going to be put on steroids simply because of the fact that Elon Musk stepped into the ring. And again, look, if you're here because you hate Elon Musk, I can understand it. I think you're wrong, but I can understand it. His personality and oh, maybe he has too much money for your liking and XYZ. You cannot argue with the fact that the man is very effective, extremely effective. And I know Tesla Q, oh, he lies about everything. No, he doesn't. He's wrong about dates a lot of the time. It doesn't mean he's lying. Colin Wright with Elon Musk reposting, I just discovered that Grock can run basic and complex statistical tests on data I upload in a CSV file. Statistics like SAS, SPSS, and JMP are now, or very likely soon will be, totally obsolete. Wow. Great point from Colin. Here's the point that I don't think we're at with AI yet, but I don't think it's going to be long until we are. How many iterations of Grock or Chat GPT, etc., are we from being able to feed AI information, and without prompting, the AI tells us the best way to analyze those numbers and then does it? So I believe this is sort of what Palantir does. I believe that this type of computing or analyzing is sort of what Palantir does for their customers. How long until this is something that everyday Joe Schmoes like me have access to? I can feed Grok any set of numbers I want. And not only will it say, oh, okay, well, here's some interesting things that pop out from those numbers, but then tell me what they mean. And that is an accelerant like we have not had on productivity since, I don't know, the Industrial Revolution, I suppose, because you don't even have to know what you're looking for. You feed the numbers, you feed the situation, and the artificial intelligence will tell you, hey, I don't know if this is what you were looking for, but here's some interesting stuff. Then we have from Dirty Tesla, and this is insane. I'm going to just tell you the story, but this is insane. You have to find the video, you have to watch it. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen. From Dirty Tesla, FSD 13.2.9, so not even 14, not what the robotaxis are on in Austin, on 13.2.9. Pulls into a toll booth, waits for me to complete my transaction, then pulls away without a gate. Incredible. This man pulls into a toll... This man has autopilot on. It pulls into the toll booth and stops. He does not press the brake. He does not push the accelerator. He does not tap the steering wheel. He does not touch the screen. The car pulls in, stops at the toll booth like you would, waits for the transaction to be complete, somehow knows that the transaction is complete, and then the car starts driving. He does not push the accelerator. He does not push the brake. He does not touch the steering wheel. He does not tap the screen. The car read the situation of this man stopping at a toll booth, paying, and being finished. That's the wildest thing I have ever seen. I had doubts about FSD until very recently. I thought, yeah, maybe they'll do it. Maybe they'll pull it off. It's probably going to be a couple years. This is the former iteration of what they have at Tesla. Everything that's going on in Austin right now is version 14. This is version 13. I don't even know what to say about it. Penny2X tweeting out, people forget that power is literally power. Whoever harnesses the most power from the sun wins. And Elon Musk retweets that and says the math is obvious and unequivocal. 100% of energy over time comes from the sun. Everything else is a rounding error. So I asked Chat GPT to build out the cost of 1 gigawatt capacity of annual output of power. Solar with no batteries, it would cost you 0.8 billion to 1.2 billion, but you lose all of the power that you don't immediately use. That's the downside to solar, is that there's plenty of space for solar to be absorbed. But if you don't have storage, it doesn't stay anywhere. It has to be used immediately. Um, Solar with batteries would cost 3.5 to $5 billion. That is for 1 gigawatt of power. Nuclear for 1 gigawatt of power would cost 10 billion to 15 billion. So there's a very large difference in cost between all of these things. And the right answer seems to be solar with batteries will get the United States up to par very, very fast. Why does the United States need to be up to par? Up to par with whom? Well, this comes from Chamath Palihapitiya. China is not known for emotional decisions, so take this at face value. In the 12 months June 2020 to in the 12 months to June 2025, China installed 464 gigawatts of solar capacity. This is the graph right here, plus 62% compared to 12 months to June 2024. So they are increasing by over half their output, by over half of their input, I guess it would be, their solar installments year over year. Like if you had a business that was growing 62% year over year, you'd have a massive multiplier on it. So the fact that China is doing that with solar deployment is incredible. Elon Musk retweets Jesse's reply. People are starting to realize that China's massive build out of solar photovoltaics has nothing to do with climate change and everything to do with tapping the resource that makes up 99.9% of Earth's energy budget. Yeah, it's not just it's not just a climate change thing. It's cheap, it's fast, it's effective, and it gets you on the map quickly for power generation, which allows power consumption, which allows the exponential output of artificial intelligence. China has massive amounts of energy going up every year. The United States needs to start matching that, or we're going to fall behind very fast. What Elon Musk said about being a vassal state, if we lose the race to artificial intelligence, we will be a vassal state. So I asked Chat GPT, how much solar would you need to power New York City? Just a big city, whatever. 90 million solar panels would power New York City. That is a 70 square mile range of solar panels. Really, that's not that great big, right? So 70 square miles, you don't have to put them all in one spot. If you could make sure that every roof in a city was covered with solar. Now, well, you're not putting solar on my roof to send to Tesla. No, 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 no. The solar on your roof will power your home. It will free up your local power plant, which my local power plant's that way, your local power plant to send more electricity to the grid. The grid's electricity will be used to power artificial intelligence. But every building that can be taken, quote unquote, off grid frees up the grid, right? So 70 square miles looks very different when it's not a 70 square mile patch of land and it's 70 square miles of a roof here, the roof next door, the roof across the street, on a patio, the roof over a parking complex. Looks very different when those are the 70 square miles being employed. This requires large-scale energy storage or backup generation, space and reliability comparison. Solar panels, units needed 90 million. Nuclear, it would be 6 reactors. You'd have to have 6 nuclear reactors to power New York City. Capacity factor, solar panels operate at 15 to 18% capacity versus nuclear at 90. So that is when you're talking about efficiency, right? Talking about the square mileage, that 70 square miles for solar would only be 1 or 2 square miles of land for the nuclear. Now, the solar panels would need batteries, but nuclear would not, because it is constantly being made. So the cost ballpark would be, to build solar for all of New York City, $90 to $180 billion. Nuclear for New York City would be $60 to $90 billion. So there has to be massive investment in power. If we are not bringing on to the grid one New York City every so often, I don't know what the exact numbers would be, but more often, certainly, than we are currently bringing on New York cities, then the United States is going to constantly be falling further and further behind where China is. Now, on to something that I have to admit I don't know how to take. I don't know how to understand this. Grock supercomputer Colossus 2 will be the first gigawatt AI training supercluster from Elon Musk. Elon Musk retweets this and says simply, yes. A gigawatt AI training supercluster is an incredible amount of power. So, asking Chat GPT, give me some context on this. What are we looking at? Power scale. 1 gigawatt is enough electricity to power roughly 750,000 to 1 million homes. They're going to be using that much power inside the Grock supercomputer Colossus 2. Now, I'm under the assumption Colossus 1 is not retiring. So you're looking at two very large power drains that the power is going to have to come from somewhere. I think this is why Elon Musk is talking about starting up different locations of solar sort resourcing, basically. An AI training center of this size would have tens or hundreds of thousands of GPUs or accelerators, such as NVIDIA H100s, B100s, or custom chips like Tesla's Dojo D1, D2. That is completely correct. In fact, Elon says that they are scaling towards 1 million. I can't remember if he said before the end of 2025 or before the end of 2026, but whenever that is absolutely incredible. So for anyone who doesn't know, one of the things, so no one thought that you could have, I think it was 100,000. No one thought you could have 100,000 H100s from NVIDIA acting coherently. There was always a power failure, or it overheated, or it wouldn't communicate, or whatever the problem was. The problem came up, and no one could get all of those chips to be coherent until Elon Musk did it. And he did it over the course of like a week, I think it was, a week, 2 weeks, something like that, where they brought online an entire 100,000 cluster of these NVIDIA H100 chips. Now, I might have some of the details wrong there. This is not my strong suit, but Elon Musk did it. And now everyone's saying, okay, well, it's possible. We have to reverse engineer whatever it was that Elon Musk did. And now you see all of these other companies starting to say, oh, no, we've got that. We're going to have that. We just got to get, we need a month. We need a couple months here. Give us till December, right? All of these different companies coming up and saying, oh, no, we're not behind. We're not behind. Give us time. Give us the money. Give us the space. Give us the building. So again, one of these examples where Elon Musk is just pouring gasoline on the fire and everyone else is being forced to catch up. I think it is not coincidental that it was not until Elon Musk entered this game that all of a sudden Mark Zuckerberg was going around with $100 million contracts, right? It was not until then that all of a sudden Mark Zuckerberg has billions of dollars to spend on talent. This scale is orders of magnitude larger than even big hyperscale data centers today, which usually run 50 to 100 megawatts. Why AI needs that much power? Training large AI models, especially frontier LLMs like Chat GPT 4, GPT 5, or multimodal models requires massive parallel GPU clusters, continuous operation for weeks or months, huge cooling systems, often liquid or immersion based, high speed networking like InfiniBand or NVLink fabrics. Each high end GPU may draw 500 to 700 watts. Next gen chips may hit a kilowatt hour each. So a cluster of 1 million GPUs would push into gigawatt territory. I don't know if this is just merely a logistics thing or what it is, but can someone explain to me why they're not trying to build these centers underground just for the amount of power that it may say? Like, I understand it's a bigger investment up top, it's a bigger investment time wise. Maybe you don't think you have the time to do that. Here in Kansas City, one thing that was used for a while was caves. Caves were used for storage. I wonder if there is something that could be done that way because caves are cooler, right? So I just don't know what the reasoning is there that these things are not being utilized in that way, underground being utilized in that way. What it's used for. A gigawatt AI training center could train a state of the art LLM, large language model, with trillions of parameters, support autonomous driving AI training like Tesla's Dojo, power national AI infrastructure for governments or corporate research alliances, act as shared AI supercomputing hub for multiple AI companies. So that is sort of the scope of what this Colossus 2 is. And again, I want to press the idea that this is not going to be alone. Colossus 2 will still be hand in hand with Colossus 1. So the absolute incredible, phenomenal, unimaginable scale that is happening right now in AI is terrifying on one hand, is liberating on another, because who knows what these things are going to introduce to the world. But whatever the case, whatever it is, these things are happening. They're happening now, and they will be here before we know it.